Yeah, we're good. Cool. Hi. Welcome to the Holy Rollers, episode 37, I think.
Everything normal, nothing to see.
Everything is normal. Nothing is out of the ordinary.
Absolutely
if you
normal.
Are, just tuning in, so tonight we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary of being together. I can definitely say without a doubt that this group shows up, every week, minus a couple here and there. And as a DM, I can say that I am the envy of a lot of people that I talk to. That I have a group that shows up every single week, which is absolutely amazing. I love this group, and
We love you.
Here we are.
So yes, we do.
We are
Yes, we
a year.
do.
We love you so much, Brandon.
Some of us have been in this same campaign for a little over a year. But this is I think, 1 year when Albus and
Muriel showed up.
joined us. And, here we are. So congratulations on a year's guy. One interesting note, if you joined us last week, or not, we do have a, let's see, Fluid Artistum says, y'all look amazing, so... thank you for that.
You.
Thank you, darling.
First time chatter, so we appreciate that. Tonight will be my last night for a month. I will be taking the month of July off. It has actually turned into even more hectic than what we thought it was going to be. There's now a funeral involved.
Oh man!
So I think we're literally home maybe 2-ish weeks in the entire month of July.
Wow.
So it's gonna be hectic. So Joffrey, thank you for stepping in. Joffrey's gonna run a one shot for the month. They will be streaming or just recording.
We will just be recording because it would be a bit too hectic to try and piggyback off of the Twitch that you have.
Got it.
You have to have one of us become a admin for permission. So it'll be easier just to record remotely, and we'll still have the episodes go up on our YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just for the month of July, we will not be streaming.
Got it. All right.
So
Perfect.
episodes will be recorded.
So, guys, if you watch on Twitch, feel free to hop over to YouTube, catch up on the videos. You've got, at this point, I think like 40-ish videos, roughly about 80 hours worth of content. So, 2 solid weeks at work, pop a video on, let it run, during the day, watch a few, whatever. We certainly appreciate that. We'll start tonight like we do every night, every Thursday night anyway. We've rolled for prayer. I think I won with a nat 20, which does not bode well for the group that I'm already rolling that high. We'll see how it goes. So that might have been my only nat 20 for tonight.
I hope so.
Let's pray and we'll get after it. Heavenly Father, we just come to you and just in awe and thanks for giving us the creativity to either come up and design this world or design these wonderful characters. I personally thank you for the blessing that you've given me to have such an amazing group that comes together, that loves you more than anything, including this game. It's just our chance to get together with fellow Christians as we go about our week. Lord, we ask that you bless this night, bless our time together, and we leave it all in your hands and your plan. We love you, and we pray this in your name. Amen.
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 So, see, I didn't pray against you guys' rolls. Just saying.
You are the better person, Brandon.
Took the
And
high
we're going to
road.
make sure you stay that way.
Oh my goodness. I will say that I have found the Kirkland signature diet green tea with citrus flavors. They bees amazing. So
Are,
Brandon, you might
You
want
want
to
to run that by me again?
Yeah, I do.
You might
My
want to check
diet
yourself.
green tea with citrus flavor that comes in a bottle is amazing. Now, that's not saying that your tea is not the greatest thing in the world, because it is.
Well, guys, it's been fun.
Right.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Well,
You know,
I'm
it's
just
nice.
your-
So we're.
I'm drinking the base of your tea.
So I think we're
Just
like 8, probably close to 8 months since you sent that last batch of tea. And we're like finally getting through the last bag.
Bro.
Meanwhile, Rachel's reordering tea about every month,
Right?
if not 3 weeks.
She's literally my best customer.
I may or may not be obsessed.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
just so you know, I've drank
The lady knows
some
what
of
she
your tea.
likes.
But
Oh,
I
I need to
don't
get
drink
that.
tea often.
I need to get that recipe for the lemonade that you make with your tea, because that
Well,
was amazing.
Actually, funny you should say that. We will be posting on our YouTube channel about it by the end of this week.
Plug.
You can
Cornerstone
find
tea.
Cornerstone.
Plug.
You should do it as the blue lady.
You
No.
should.
And
Do
if you're
it.
not familiar with Stephanie's teas, visit cornerstonetea.com for her products.
That's right.
CornerstoneTeaCompany.com.
Cornerstone Tea Company. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Cornerstone Tea is not my website, but it does exist. We don't talk about it.
CornerstoneTeaCompany.com.
The question is, have you
Note.
approached them to buy it yet?
No.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do that?
To knock out the competition. Either that or figure out a way to redirect their traffic to your website.
Actually, I'm not even sure it exists anymore, so I could be
Yeah,
talking out
well,
about
there
that. But I know the one that you should go to is cornerstoneteacompany.com.
There you go. So,
And while you're at it, go to Brandon's website with, what's it called again, Brandon?
Kingdom
it
Custom
is-
Design.
Yes.
That's right.
Kingdom Custom Designs dot myshopify.com, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Everything
Yes,
is
Jesse.
everything is marked down now through probably through July 4th, probably a little bit longer. So yeah.
Yes, I
hop
did
in
find a
and-
T-shirt on there that I absolutely want. So I loved it when I saw it.
I love the one that I bought because it is not got the seam down the side like a lot of these cheap t-shirts do. And so far, it's held up beautifully in the wash. I have never had a t-shirt survive the washes like this one has.
I think
Not
at
to
this
mention
point
where this design-
I'm probably about the same. I'm probably 15 washes into mine, and it still looks like the day I took it out of the pack. So it's
What kind of
held up.
washing machines do y'all have that ruin shirts like that?
I'm not sure.
Right?
It's the one
Okay.
appliance I have that's not Wi-Fi enabled. So ask my husband.
Careful you don't get locked out of your house.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, hey, let's get after it. So, just as kind of a recap, Mara found out some very interesting news last week, finding out
Yeah, she
that
did.
the parents that she had grown up despising, hating for abandoning her, she actually found out that they were assassinated. They actually left her at the Temple of Tyr as more of a protection to herself. Now, granted, the Temple's got some things that they should probably answer for lying to some folks, but ultimately, her parents, obviously did it for her protection. Beyond that, there was a little bit of a scene at the temple as Mara
Just a small one.
Yeah, just a small one. As Mara kind of went into a bit of a rage, being a barbarian, that's not quite out of the ordinary. She tossed a pew, didn't hit anybody.
Thank
It was
goodness.
beautiful. It was glorious.
It
though.
was. And then she hurled the ashes of Helga straight into the face of one of the priests. it wasn't a glass bottle, so that made things quite interesting. So yeah, so at this point, I think that's really where we'll go. I think Mara has now kind of stormed out, leaving the city, heading towards Storm Haven, and the group shortly there after her. So let me get you guys thrown over into the world map.
Albus was right behind her, so he would have caught up to her like right outside the temple. So I think we're still in the city.
Okay, yeah. You would still be in the city proper, but Mara is headed.
Terrence had purposely stayed behind to kind of block the door on the way out so that priests or anything couldn't follow.
Raja and Muriel are still with the parents.
Yeah.
And Devlin is doing Devlin things.
And then Terrence made a stone call, and we found out that he is now attached to the
shopkeeper.
Shopkeeper.
Our favorite shopkeeper.
Our favorite shopkeeper.
Welcome to my shop. How may I help you?
Terrence is debating whether or not he should put an order in now.
I mean, we're getting close by. He's only about a day, 2 days south.
Yeah.
Southwest.
Maybe he can make a delivery before we leave Dragonstar. Almost said Dawnstar. I'm in Skyrim. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, what is Mara doing? Is she running right now? Is she?
Yeah, she is like running straight for Stormhaven.
I
That's the word.
don't have any spells to
Stormhaven,
stop
yes.
you.
Albus would be.
And you can
Right
see her. She's
behind
like
you.
in a huff like this, like, you know.
Albus is on his little like. He's gonna yell after. He's gonna be Mara, stop! You need to stop. Don't make me do something that we'll regret.
She is very much ignoring you.
Okay, so Terrence is going to get out of the temple if you allow him to without getting into a fight, and he is going to cast Find Steed for a warhorse.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you make an intimidation roll, and let's see if you're quite intimidating enough to make the.
Oh my God, no! It was a nat 1.
Oh no!
You summon a pony.
No. This
Oh
is
no,
for the
that's not for the horse. That's for
Oh
him
my
trying to
gosh.
intimidate the.
Terrence is not good at intimidating.
Terrence
He's a
is
good
really
paladin.
not good at intimidation.
No. He's. That doesn't mean that he can't smack him. But...
Boy, I was not expecting that right off the bat. Right.
Should have rolled my real dice. Dang it. I forgot they had them.
Alright, so.
Does that mean he gets in a
Wait a
fight?
minute.
He
I have
doesn't.
inspiration.
So.
Can I use it?
You have inspiration. You do
I
have
mean, if
Yehovah
you wanna-
inspiration.
Just
I would say hear what's going to happen and then decide if you want to use it
Okay.
for the
sure.
sake of time. So you try to intimidate these guys that are coming towards you, and it doesn't work. Like they're still coming at you. They're a little bit bigger than kind of what you thought they were as they were approaching. So basically, two of them just kind of pick you up from underneath your arms, and they just hurl your butt out of the temple.
Well, I slowed them down.
Yeah,
With your body.
right. So yeah, and then well, almost
So with
almost
with
max
the-
on it. So Terrence, you would take 10 points of we'll call it like bludgeoning fall damage. More of an embarrassment damage, honestly, if we're gonna call
so
it what it is.
Celestial Rebuke.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna.
So
All
for,
right. Are they like following me out? Are they coming after me for anything?
No, like they as soon as
Then
they
it's
tossed
not.
you out, they just turned around and slammed the
Okay.
doors.
Dusted
And-
their hands.
Yeah, and like from behind the door, you just hear like very muffled, like, "Don't you ever come back here!"
And I'm like, yeah, okay, later. Another time I'll I'll deal with you. Okay, then I'm turning around. I guess that I'm probably seeing the backside of Albus way down there on his way out. I'm going to cast Find Steed.
Okay.
And I'm going for a warhorse
Okay.
named Horus.
A warhorse named
Aw.
Horus. Okay.
Easy enough. I love it.
Not Bojangles.
Not Bojangles,
I'm
no.
kind of disappointed it's not Bojangles, honestly.
I am too.
No, well, look, this is Terrence. Terrence doesn't, he likes nice names. He likes nice things. He likes nice war horses named Horus. So, I
Okay.
don't. Here's my problem: is I don't know how this is supposed to, how a war horse is going to run. I didn't think this one through.
Yeah, it's all right.
War horses have a 60-foot run speed.
Huh?
War horses have like a 60-foot run speed or something like that. Yeah, 60 foot in a turn, so you can catch up with Mara, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to catch up to Mara.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would.
While he's doing that, while he's casting all that, Albus would be trying to work on Mara too. But how far away is he? Because that changes what I do.
How far
He
is
would-
Terrence from you guys?
No, how far is Mara from me?
I would say if Mara is running and you are running, I would probably say for every 100 feet that she runs, you might be able to cover 60. So at this point, she's probably a good couple hundred feet in front of you.
Okay, well, I would have cast like way before that we got that far. I mean, like right out the door.
What are you casting on her?
Well, it depends. If I'm within 30 feet, it would be different than if I'm like 60 feet or more.
Okay, so I would say for the sake of argument, coming out the door, probably somewhere between 60 to 100 feet is how far ahead of you she would have gotten, just based on reaction.
Okay, well, then at 60 feet, I would cast Hold Person.
Can I resist this?
It's a
Yeah,
will.
It's a It's a Wisdom save.
Oh, jeez.
What's the DC on it?
15.
Let's see here.
And as I'm riding past Albus, would it be probable for the
I got a
paladin to be able to
14.
reach down and pick him up and bring him up onto the steed?
So 14 with your +2, so 16. So I believe that makes the
No, that was 14 total. I already added.
14 total. You already added the 2.
Yes.
The DC is what on that? 15 or 14?
15.
15.
15.
All right, so
You failed.
Mara, as you come barreling out of the church, you make it roughly about 60 feet before you lose complete control of your body, and you are not able to move. I'm trying to find the spell. Give me a minute.
This is going to be interesting.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
She probably let out almost a war cry at that point, like trying to struggle herself out of it.
So it only lasts for a minute, so it would just be enough time for me to get caught up to her, basically.
Okay. All right. So timing wise, Albus comes out the door. Is able to cast and connect with Hold Person. Mara, you are basically paralyzed in position, giving Albus the time to catch up. Terrence, as you come out of the temple, you kind of watch as, Terrence, the way that I picture it is you kind of open your hand and this golden book kind of starts flipping pages in your hand. And as it does, just almost like this gold light kind of coalesces around you, and then beside you kind of forms this horse. And, it's just kind of reading through it. It's unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal. So you're able to hop on, kind of bust a move pretty quickly. able to catch up to Mara and Albus, I'd probably say timing-wise, since we're not in combat, obviously time is going to flow a little bit differently. I would say by the time that Terrence is making it to where Albus and Mara are, hold person at that point is going to be wearing off.
DM, I rolled a 19 to be timing wise, recontacting Mara like I intended to. Me and Raj are obviously still sitting in Cecil and Celinda's house, and I'm there because I'm like, she wants to be left alone. More power to her, but I would have kept checking in periodically, and this is a point. I rolled a 19 to do so.
Okay.
So you're like going into my head?
No, I'm casting sending, so it's 25 words, and I'll just say, and you can reply in turn with 25 words.
I guess the only question I would ask is from a timing standpoint, if you're trying to contact her while she's paralyzed.
Oh.
If I don't hear anything, that would also trigger me to go and look for her.
So I'm gonna have fun with this, since everyone decided they want to do a bunch of shit all at once. Yeah, so sending is cast, which you can do your message, and yeah, at the time that you're trying to do it is the same time that Albus is casting hold person on Mara, causing her to be paralyzed. And I will say, for the sake of this, that she is not able to respond to you.
Oh, Joker, don't do that.
I would have just said something banal, but for the sake of time, I won't go into what I say. And when she doesn't respond, I'll look over at Raja and say, we need to go.
I'm sure it's fine. She said she wanted time.
The spell connected, but she didn't answer me. Mara is not one to just not talk, if you haven't noticed. I'm going. You can come or you can stay.
I guess. He'll get up and follow Muriel.
Okay. So...
Okay, so while you guys are in transit over, because it's not like just right around the corner. I mean, it's probably...
Right.
Even sprinting, you're probably 5 to 10 minutes out.
Right.
So while you guys are en route to do that, Devlin, what have you been doing? And then Mara, start thinking about how you're going to react immediately once you regain control of your body.
Oh, trust me, I already know.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So, Devlin he was going to make a point to do what he does, try to find go towards the shadier part of town, try and find another place to kind of get some information. He wants to get information about primarily the amount of weapons going into Stormhaven. And now it's, hey, so do either of you, anyone know anything about a pair of deaths that happened about several decades ago? Because two people who were potential cronies for Lord Storm being assassinated, someone would know. But he's going to try and see what information he can pick up on those two things.
Okay. Alright, so just kind of going back, Mara's parents worked for the capital in Fasari. So, yeah, other continent.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
I thought they worked for Lord Storm.
No.
I thought
Oh,
they
that's
did-
what I was... The
Yeah,
whole
that's-
reason that Mara was going to Stormhaven was because she was under the impression that Lord Storm was the one that, had a hold of them and, in her mind, killed her parents.
He's the one that ordered the death of your parents.
Okay.
Got
Okay.
it.
Well, still, he still deserves it then. Okay.
Okay, but that's information that everyone has, is that Lord Storm was the one who gave the order.
Yeah.
Goody.
So are you looking for any? Oh, you're looking weapon information. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I
It's
completely blank that. So
First things first, it's why there's so many weapons
Yeah.
heading to Dragon Stormhaven.
I'm gonna have you make a persuasion check.
Persuasion will be a 20.
Okay. All right. Just kind of making your way through kind of the seedy underbelly of Dragonstar. And one of the things that kind of catches you off guard is, like, Dragonstar is sketchy. Like, super
How did a
sketchy.
poster boy like Terrence come from this place?
So it doesn't take long. You meet just a few, they're shady characters. No name given, kind of hood drawn. You don't even know really, from a racial standpoint, even what they are. You start getting information that there have been numerous, so probably somewhere upwards of 15 to 20 full caravan shipments of weapons that have shipped from Dragonstar to Stormhaven. There's also been increased military activity coming from not only Deer Glen to the north of Dragonstar, but also a few of the settlements within the Echo Shores itself.
That's a mobilization.
Let's see if I can find our Echo Shores map. Nope, I might have to add that back over in. Okay, does that kind of answer the questions that you had?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He would still, auto roll, he would still try and see if he could learn anything about that assassination.
Okay.
In his mind,
so
whispers, stories, rumors had to occur.
Right. So from what people actually remember of the incident, there was a male and a female that were caught fleeing the city. They were captured by a couple of guards. The guards then turned them over to an agent of Lord Storm, who then proceeded to torture, question, and murder them.
But that's the extent of what information I could get from that. Okay. At that point, if it feels like that's all the information he's going to get, he will return back to Cecil and Celinda's, because that was the last place that the group was.
Okay.
And it means there's no reason that the entire group just ran off and did something incredibly stupid.
Right.
Want to bet?
Yeah.
Because we're not known for that.
Yeah. Right.
Never.
Would he catch me and Raja going out the door, perhaps?
From a timing standpoint, I would probably say he wouldn't have been too far behind you guys.
Okay,
But by
so
the-
if we've told Cecil and Celinda where we're going, like we're gonna go hunt down Mara.
Yeah.
So like,
But we have no idea where she went, so we're just kind of, at best, we're fast pacing, walking the streets.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Aimlessly.
listening for the inevitable ruckus.
The sound of
Yeah,
metal
that's
on metal.
Because
Sound
at
Sound
this
of
point,
Mara's screaming.
I know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Devlin will deep sigh, look at the empty kitchen. Oh, somebody owes me a lot of money. Collect his bag, tip his hat to Celinda. It was a wonderful dinner. Thank you for hospitality. A good evening to you. Cecil. And he will turn around. And he'll walk out.
Okay. Alright, so.
So did you say that Terrence had caught up to Mara and Albus
Yeah.
as the spell was wearing off for her?
Yep.
Am I allowed to try to persuade her to come back?
Can we roll initiative for like actions? Because like we're all trying to do stuff at once.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
So. Mara,
Yeah.
how are you going to react to being paralyzed? Now, I will say this. There is nothing in that spell description that says you know why you were paralyzed.
That's true.
And I don't think Albus has
So you
ever
just
cast
know all
that
of a
spell in
sudden
front of you.
you couldn't move.
Right, yeah. No, I don't think she would have known in the first place. But either way, she, as soon as she could move again, she would probably be up and, like, still heading towards Stormhaven. Like, just ignoring everything around her at that point.
So then I would cast another spell. I would dip my finger into a bit of honey on the side, and I would cast Suggestion on Mora, which is 30 feet. And since I've caught up to her, she would be in range.
Okay.
So it's another wisdom save for 15. I would just say, Mara, calm down. Take some breath.
Because that always works with a woman. So when we bury Albus,
Right. Yeah, have you started rolling your new character for when I come back?
Everyone press F to pay respect.
That's right. Yeah, F for.
Y'all can't see it, but I'm laughing under this mask.
So
I
she
can't.
got a 16.
Now I'll give me a second. Let me do some digging here.
Ooh, actually, you know what? I'm going to end luck. So you got a 16?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
I'm going to, hold on, I can find it. I'm going to use 2 sorcery points and roll a 1d4 and apply that as a penalty to your roll.
What?
You need to take away 3 from that.
ooh, looks like you've been suggested.
So 13?
Yep.
Okay.
What are you going to suggest that Mara does?
It needs to calm down, take some breaths, and come back with us back to the party so we can talk this through.
So does that mean that I have to do whatever he says?
So yeah, you
Yeah.
are basically yeah, because he's not telling you to like put your head on the ground and smash yourself with the hammer. So yeah, so
That's good.
basically at that point you feel kind of coming out of this paralysis. You feel overly compelled to just kind of stop, take a few breaths, see if, catch your breath.
Okay. I don't think she would know why she's doing that, I guess.
Nope, that is very fair.
So she'd probably be like, I have to get to Stormhaven. I have to get to Stormhaven. But I need to turn around and find everybody else, apparently.
Albus will just come up, take her hand, and be like, come on, we will go to Stormhaven. I promise. But
Nah.
we need to talk to the party. We need to get everybody on the same page, Mara.
No, we need to go.
And we will.
We need... No, now.
Not now.
Why am I walking the opposite way?
I'm sorry, Mara, but we need to talk. We need to get everybody together. It's the middle of the night, Mara. This is not the time to go traveling between cities. We can't see. We can't protect
I can
ourselves.
see just fine. I've got the stupid goggles.
I know, but we gotta stick together, Mara.
It's not like I can resist.
So I'm assuming that as she's going, she's like fuming because she wants to go the other way.
Yeah, of
She might
course she's
want
mad
to,
about...
But I told her to be calm.
The one time it actually works
Yeah.
on a woman
Right?
with magic.
All magic and
Yeah.
manipulation.
So there's really no reason for Terrence to try to persuade her to do anything because she's already doing it. So that's a good thing.
But, hey, Terrence, glad you're here. Let's get everybody together so that we can figure out what our next steps are.
I'm assuming that this war steed could probably take me and Mara and Albus
Yeah, I would imagine so.
because they're small, and it's a war steed. So Dan, would I be right to ask them to help them up on the steed with me, and we just kind of walk back slowly?
Before you do that,
It's really faster than what they're walking, but
I'm on mute. That's why no one's listening to me. Before you do that, Albus, I'm gonna have you roll a d6.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
2.
2? Okay. Okay. I believe Terrence is helping people on the horse.
I was gonna tell everybody, let's get up on the horse. We'll get back there quicker, and then we can go quicker.
Okay. So yeah,
And,
the horse definitely has no problem carrying
Alright.
the weight of Albus and Laura, which combined probably weigh about a $120 soaking wet.
Yeah.
So by the time you get turned around and headed back towards the temple area, by that point, Muriel and Raja kind of would have meandered around long enough that they would be kind of within that central portion between the temples of Jehovah and Tyr. So at that point you're pretty easily identified. Big old big ass warhorse. I'm just calling what it is.
Yeah.
You're kind of
Yeah.
noticeable.
I was gonna say,
You were,
I'm probably the
you
only
were
one on
already
horse.
not very stealthy. Now you're like, look at me.
Clink, clink, clink,
Right?
clink,
Yeah.
clink.
Yeah, can I roll stealth to see if I have a tank that's hidden?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I look at Raja and I smack him in the breastplate like this, and I'm like, when did Terrence get a horse?
Beats me.
I'm kind of certain that that Raja, being a paladin, would probably recognize. I'm thinking.
Actually, no, he doesn't have access
No,
to that spell.
okay. I thought that spell was already yours. Sorry.
Nope.
I would
Anyways.
say shortly after you 5 meeting back up, maybe within probably about 10 to 15 minutes, Devlin would be kind of on your coattails. So at that point, you guys would be all together,
in the middle of the square.
Basically, yeah, in the middle of the square. Which, if you would like, I can throw. I'll throw you guys back there.
Thank you.
So I'm going to suggest that we go either find an inn that we can stay the night and start out first thing in the morning after we have a plan, or go back to my parents' house to spend the night and leave first thing in the morning after we have a plan.
The
Either
plan is
way.
easy. The plan is easy. Go to Stormhaven and go murder Lord Storm.
We don't
That's
even know
what
if
we're
he's
doing.
there.
No,
We don't
I
even know
don't.
if he's there.
I do not care, Terrence. We're gonna find him, and he's gonna get murdered.
Raja is supposed to meet with a contact and find some information for us. And we definitely need to go, but we need to also be careful because last time we saw Lord Storm, he was surrounded by the Eldritch Knights, which were able to, like, we're having trouble taking them one-on-one. We do not want to take them all at once. Plus, the last time we were also there, Donovan was there. Okay?
I sort of
Mara,
want to
I
hide.
100% understand that you are angry and you want to do something right now.
Suddenly, we've got all the time in the world. We've been acting like we've been running behind this entire time. Why don't we just go? Are we not still running behind?
All right, it's the middle of the night,
And
Because
and
if we go right now, Mara, we're all going to be tired. We're not going to be able to fight like we could. We're not going to be able to beat them like we could. This is the same thing that we had to deal with Muriel when she wanted to go back and fight the dragon. It's not that we shouldn't, but we have to do it with a plan, and we have to be a little bit better prepared than the last time we tried to fight.
last time we tried to fight, you died. Last time we tried to fight, most of us were out. Okay? We have to be smarter.
that
And
was
we
a
can
big-
bring
that was a
Lord
big
Storm
dragon.
to justice.
That
We
was
can
a
bring
big
Lord Storm
dragon.
to
It's
justice.
not people. We can get these
dragon-
people.
The
During
dragon
this-
might be with the people.
During this argument, Raja will lean over to Muriel and be like, "Do you have a spell that can put her to sleep for the night?"
I'm not strong. I don't have enough oomph to put behind it, but perhaps I can calm emotions. She's been receptive to that in the past. I will cast calm emotions centered on the group, and you'll need to make a charisma save if you don't want to be affected.
Okay.
What's
If
the
I make a
DC?
charisma save, I'm going to beat it.
Oh no, you
I
rolled that
got-
one earlier.
Well, that's true.
Albus, you're calmed.
I got a 21.
I will scowl at you
So-
and I'll spend 3 sorcery points and make you roll again.
She is going. Okay, so she's gonna be like, "You guys don't understand. You weren't there. You didn't hear what Cecil said. Lord Storm ordered my parents murdered. My parents loved me. My parents loved me." And she's gonna like just start crying and like just sobbing. She's like, "My parents loved me. They didn't leave me because they hated me. They loved me.
Okay.
Parents
I'm
love
gonna
us
We
there.
need to murder
Grab you
Lord
by the-
Storm."
I'm gonna very gently grab you by the shoulders. Hey. We can talk it out, but we cannot leave this town tonight. You're coming home. Come on.
Can we leave in the morning? I want to murder him.
No. Lady Mara. It is not murder, it will be killing. He will be armed. Murder implies stabbing someone when they're not unaware. We do not murder. We kill. And he most definitely ordered the hit on your parents.
Did you find something out, Devlin?
Her parents tried to flee. They were caught. And an agent of Lord Storm apprehended them, and on behalf and ordered by him, did all sorts of horrid things to them before finally executing them.
You know who that agent was?
And I did not, and every armed force from here to the Echo Shores is mobilizing in Storm Haven.
But
Why
why?
we need to go?
Not
We're
even
not
the
doing-
underground knew that.
Well, maybe Raj's contact might know.
So, as much as I am totally on board with killing this individual, Lady
Same.
Pink, we cannot fight an army the size of several thousand between him and us. Not without any kind of plan or strategy. And it sounds like that is what is going on.
Us, Mara, if we don't know who this agent is, if you want real justice, real revenge, vengeance, whatever you want to call it, you want it for your parents, we need to get everybody that was involved. We need to find out why they were targeted. We need to find out who was the one that actually did the deed, not just who ordered it. We need to do some investigating. We need to tie this fellow up to a chair and get him to talk. Okay? We can't just kill him without answers.
She's gonna like slightly interrupt you, and she's gonna be like, "Where are we staying tonight?"
We could stay with lovely Celinda and Cecil.
Fine. And she's gonna walk towards their house.
I'm gonna sympathize with her and walk behind her.
She is done talking. She's done listening. She's just gonna do it because obviously there's nothing else she can do.
And Albus is going to drop his spell.
And Terrence is going to drop the spell for the steed and send the steed back.
Muriel will as well.
Terrence, why do you have wood embedded into your armor?
Terrence looks at you and says, "We're not going to talk about that," and starts walking away.
Distinct
Raja,
voice.
look,
Oh, somebody owes me money.
I just flick you a platinum piece.
He'll catch it.
Raja leans over at Terrence and is like, "Hey, was that a spell you cast for that horse, that war horse?"
Yeah, I just learned it. It just came to me. Jehovah allowed me to get a steed. His name is Horus.
I want one.
I've heard worse.
Horace the horse.
Where's the horse?
Of course, of course.
Oh,
So
you
can we
people suck.
go sleep, I guess?
Didn't you like a horse named Horus?
Heck damn it.
You'd think his name would be Ed, though.
Well, that was taken, so.
Um,
Do we have
All
to
right.
close the god?
Shall we
Right.
fast forward to sleep? For the sake of time?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, I would say at that point, I'm assuming you guys went back to
Cecil and
Cecil
Celinda.
and Celinda's. Right.
Yeah, We're
So
sleeping on their floor.
so you make it back. It's
I would
not.
recommend we still take a watch. Anyone else?
I mean, who's going to be looking for us here?
Yeah, I'm not so sure we need it.
I don't know if y'all are looking at the same town I'm looking at, but this place is pretty sketchy.
Oh, it's not just a little sketchy, Muriel. It's a
I'm
lot.
understating. I'm understating for a
Terrence
fact.
looks at both of you like, "What are you talking about? This is the safest town there's ever been."
I'm
Terrence.
just going to give you the eye, like, God, how naive.
If it'll make you feel better, Muriel, I will take third watch. I'm not taking
We'll take
watch.
first.
Think of
I'll
it this
sit-
way: if we're very, very, shall we say, wanted individuals, and we're in the house of the parents of one of our members, we should not be taking this lightly.
2 of our members.
2 of our members.
Excuse me, 2 of our members.
I'll
The
do
Terrence
first
says-
watch with you, Devlin, because I don't think I can sleep right now.
So Terrence is fine. I'll take middle watch with whoever wants to, or I'll do it myself. It's okay.
Mara will go with you. It's fine. She's not going to be able to sleep well anyway. She'll do the middle watch.
I'll take
no.
last watch.
Okay.
Devlin, you want to take last watch with me?
Sorry, spoken for with Albus.
Raja volunteered for third watch, so that's going to be Muriel and
The
Raja.
dynamic duo, back
Oh
at it.
no!
Oh boy.
Back at it again.
That's right.
Hey, it's
Looming
third watch.
gold.
It's not first watch, so
All right. Just for speed wise, I'm just gonna have everybody everyone that's on watch, just go ahead and make your perception checks.
I rolled
Perception
a
check
10.
is.
Hold on.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 10 as
18.
well.
17 plus 2 is 19.
I rolled a 10.
So 17, 10.
I'm going to take my passive perception of 21.
19.
18.
Passive doesn't work on watch.
Oh, really? Okay, well,
Nope.
hold on
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah, so mine was 19.
17, 6, 23.
Okay. Alright. It is. It's a quiet night. You hear maybe a few drunkards trying to stumble home from the bar, kind of late evening, early morning. You might overhear kind of early enough the sounds of the other stores starting to open up, kind of their morning rituals, if you will. So fairly calm night. Sun rises next morning. By that point, I would say everybody was up. I want to have everybody roll just a straight roll of a d20.
Goody.
16.
18.
19.
13.
That
You had a
one.
1, Albus?
No.
No.
No, Albus, no.
Okay, so the group passed it, so yeah, you're fine.
Oh, good.
Are we though?
I
Yeah.
don't like the sound of that.
It's fine. It's fine.
Stephanie, you
We're
got
fine.
like real blue and real yellow real quick.
Didn't like that. Didn't like that. Bad touch.
Speaking of lighting, Mara,
Did your light turn
Huh?
off?
looking
Oh.
a little dark there.
Yeah, let me fix that real quick. Hold on.
Love her kimono.
I know, it's so good.
Hopefully your military contact can do a sending capabilities. I don't think we're going to be able to stay longer than another day here.
I'm
Right.
sure they'd have the
Da-da-da.
ability. I'm sure they'd have long distance communication ability somehow. They don't. Obviously, they wouldn't be in the military if they didn't.
Just for a refresher, I'm finding out about Seth. Do I even need to find out about Mara's parents since Devlin already did his
No.
homework?
Oh, but you need to find out about the weapons. Why? Like,
Why
where-
is so much military equipment and armies being assembled at Stormhaven?
And the whereabouts of Lord Storm himself, so yes.
So are you taking anyone with you when you go to the fort, or are you going by yourself?
No, I'll just go by myself.
If you take me, I can give you guidance.
Nah.
All
I'll
right,
be
that
fine.
would be guidance
No
on the door
civilians
out.
allowed in this operation.
All right. So early morning, Raja heads over to the fort from where you guys were at, which is about right there. Probably
I'll use my title of knight to get in the checkpoint.
Okay. Alright. Shortly afterwards, so you kind of make your way in. It's set up very familiar, like any other military fort you've ever been in. You've kind of got some outlying buildings that look a lot like kind of enlisted barracks. One maybe a little nicer building that you would assume is probably either the captain of the guard or maybe an officer billet. And then kind of a central office-ish looking building where usually like a fort commander or something would be sitting. I'm assuming that you're going to be approaching it fairly quickly.
No faster than usual.
Okay.
I'll just approach it at a moderate pace. Once I'm inside, I'm probably going to look for any names that I may or may not recognize.
Okay. Yeah, everyone in there, they look like they're fairly new. So even the commander himself is maybe in his mid-20s.
Okay, I'll approach the receptionist. Excuse me, I need to talk to the commander of this post.
May we tell the commander what business you have here?
Tell him Sir Raja is here, Knight, Dragonborn Knight, inquiring of information.
Okay, give me a moment. I'll see if he's available. Walks away. Doesn't take long. You hear him before you see him. As this massive Goliath comes out from the back office, like literally ducking his head under the door to physically get through it. And even then, he's kind of turned to his side because he's just a big old boy.
He's a big boy. Give Raja a run for his money, that's for sure.
He stares down at you as he's got you by a few feet.
I'll stare back at him. Are we exchanging intimidation rolls, or?
Sure. Only because you suggested it.
Sure.
Sure.
Thanks for suggesting it.
That's right.
21.
Ooh.
Dang.
Get it, player?
And
Right?
the big giant goes, "Oh, you scared me."
He doesn't. He takes a step back. He doesn't stop glaring at you, but he's definitely dropped kind of that demeanor of "I'm just gonna smash your head in. Why are you here?"
I'll just do a big old grin, like
Yeah, like-
just a big old smile, like we're greeting one another, more or less, just like a. You must be new here.
Right.
How long you been commander at this post?
I think at this point maybe 2 months.
2 months? Well, congratulations, sir. What's your name?
I have to read how to pronounce this. It's Thavarian. If you want to spell it, it's Thavarrein.
Okay.
And his last name, and I'll let you guys pronounce it, it's Ugunukane.
Unga chunga. Is it how I
Basically.
My question is, can he pronounce his own last name?
Maybe, maybe not. He's not the highest. He's not the highest of intelligence of creatures. So,
Oh, it's good to meet you, Tharvarian. I'm Sir Raja. I'm curious, what happened to Bartholomew? He was the colonel of this outpost the last time I was here.
He was sent to Stormhaven, much like the rest.
When?
I've been here for 2 months. I thought you'd be smarter than that.
I haven't been in contact much. I've been away from sources. So why was he sent to Stormhaven?
I don't know. They're gathering a lot of people.
And they didn't tell the commander of the outpost?
They just put me in charge of the outpost to watch kind of the newer recruits.
I see. So you have no knowledge of what's going on in Stormhaven.
Other than they took our garrison of soldiers and moved them down. Plus, from what I can tell, the majority of the people from the royal city. At this point, I'd probably say they've amassed at least several thousand from between our two cities.
Who called this order?
It was a joint venture between Lord Storm and there was one other, but it wasn't from the capital. I don't know. It was kind of.
Is there any documentation of this order by chance that I might be able to see?
Make a persuasion check.
I knew you were going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like gravy, the plot thickens.
Oh boy. 17.
With the 17, he looks at you. He tells you that there are orders, but that you are nowhere near high enough to have a clearance to be able to see them.
As a knight, I'm pretty sure I outrank you.
Not quite.
Is that DM speaking or is that character speaking?
That would be DM speaking.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we'll just say that wasn't character speaking then, because Raja would have known rank. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Well. Okay. Well, thank you for your time, good sir. And I will be on my way. Thank you.
Okay.
He gives a salute, turns around, and walks out.
Alrighty.
Oh, right before he walks out, he stops for a second. Oh, one more thing. I wanted to inquire about a recruit. He would have came into the military about just out of character 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He would have came into the military about 2 years ago. By the name of Seth.
Okay.
Draco Faber.
His last name, yeah, Draco Favor.
Seth Draco Favor.
Mm-hmm.
Any word on his whereabouts?
Not that I would be aware of. Again, I've only been here for a couple of months.
Is it possible he'd be in Stormhaven with the thousands, I assume?
If I'm making a bet, probably.
All right. Thanks again for your time. Much appreciated.
All right.
Again,
Raja,
salutes and walks out.
Raja makes his way out, back to the house, kind of informs you guys of what has happened. By this point, you would have definitely had breakfast that Celinda would have prepared. At this point, we're probably pushing not even like mid-morning. It's still fairly early morning.
So, with all of this information that we've got, what
Chances-
what are we going to do? How are we going to go there and exact justice like it needs to be?
Well, chances are Lord Storm is in Stormhaven. We have no way of getting in there without being recognized by someone. I mean, let's face it, we're a pretty recognizable group. If Storm's there, chances are the Eldridge Knights are there.
And he's unfortunately seen my face, because otherwise I'm the only person from this entire party that he hasn't seen, but we were captured.
If you can get me within a mile, I can spy on them.
Well, I'm sure we can get within a mile of it, but we'd have to be careful.
Yeah, we need to be careful, and we need to do some scouting to figure out.
That's
I mean,
what I'm talking about doing.
A mile might be tricky if there are truly thousands of people. Stormhaven is not that big of a town to begin with, which means you're going to have encampments surrounding the town.
This is true.
Well, let's get as close as we can. You know, Devlin here could go ahead and scout ahead of us as we go. He can give us a heads up when we're getting close to their perimeter. And we'll see how far we are, see if we can maybe go around. We can try different possibilities.
Well, that's at least the start of a plan. So
Terrence is going to ask Muriel. Muriel, when we get close and you start doing your magic mind thing, scanning, can you tell if it's people we know? Are you able to tell if there's somebody there that we would recognize or who would recognize us?
DM, I've used my psychic ability to scan for minds in an area. Would I have the ability to discern if they were minds I was familiar with? Or at least minds of a particular... I can cast Sending, Terrence, to determine where your brother is. He can talk to me.
I'm thinking more along the lines of as we go down through, if we get to a unit or a group that's there, is there an Eldridge Knight with them that would know us? Or are we going to be able to pass through without being recognized because they don't know us?
Then my question is this, did I continue my question, DM? Would I be able to determine if a mind familiar to me was present in the area?
If you're talking about the same spell that you used when you were just outside of the keep where everyone was captured, no, it's more kind of just a generalized number of conscious minds that you're able to count.
However, Terrence, within a mile, I can use an invisible sensor and actually look through this invisible sensor to spy on units ahead of us or even around us.
And how accurate is it as far as you? Will they be able to see you if you can see them?
No, the sensor is invisible. I am a mile away.
Okay, so then you can look and see if there's anybody there.
Correct.
Sense how many people are there.
I can see and or sense, but in order to see a particular individual, I'll need to use clairvoyance, which is the sensor spell.
And are you able to tell whether or not they are on edge or calm or hostile?
In as much as I can tell anybody from their expression, I suppose.
Okay. Then I
can also switch it from looking to listening.
Okay.
But it can only be one or the other.
So if we can find command tents, we can find out maybe what's going on.
Yes.
So you're actually, as you're talking, Terrence is thinking kind of through this and going, okay, Raja, with all that information, what's our chances of being able to get in there, possibly unnoticed until we can get to the keep?
very slim.
You still think it's very slim? What's our chances of
If-
possibly?
If Hunter's security strategy is anything like it was, it's going to be tight.
Well,
I can
remember,
also-
he no longer has Shadow.
True, but he also apparently has been expanding his ranks of Eldritch Knights since becoming a mercenary group and leaving the kingdom.
True.
I can also charm somebody, so I could if we could get somebody close enough, like somebody higher up in rank, a lieutenant or something. I could charm them and give us an hour to have them escort us in or get us through the initial perimeter, and we can hide out in the city or something. That's an option too.
And I believe both Raja and I have the ability, if we are able to capture somebody high enough, to compel them to tell us the truth about what's going on, that as much as they know.
What kind of
Yeah.
save is a charm person?
Charisma, I think, or wisdom.
Charm person is a wisdom save.
Well, either way, as far as someone high up that I'm aware of, our best bet would be Twin Kill. Lieutenant Kragus Twin Kill. He's a half orc. He's the half orc that I showed you on the boat.
I'm assuming that, not to put a damper, assuming that Lord Storm is still the lackey of Donovan de Vornovan, what does Donovan need a thousands upon thousand-man army for?
That is the question. That is one of the many questions we're trying to answer.
I wonder if he's going after a dragon.
So Raja, I would not necessarily want to try and do charm person on an Eldritch Knight. I was thinking more like somebody in the army that maybe a lower rank, somebody that'll have information, but not be somebody that will be missed.
Well, I wasn't sure how high up the rank you were referring to, so
Yeah, I'm not talking about going after Eldritch Knights, because that, if it fails, we're in trouble.
yes.
If I may, I think it needs to be stated aloud.
Excuse me.
What?
Needs to
It
be-
needs to be stated aloud. We either move forward, or this is where this journey ends. That is an army. That is potentially war, our deaths, and whatever Donovan is planning, potentially. There is no
imagine-
turning back after this point.
Can't
if we
imagine
move forward-
us just staying here.
I know. But I felt it needed to be stated that if there's anyone who wants off this ship,
This is the
for
time.
any reason, now is the time, because once we move forward, once we walk out that door and leave this city, we are committed to whatever end this may be.
I'm not running again.
Well, Devlin, I know you weren't a part of this at the time, but Mara, Terrence, myself, out of character, I believe Albus and Muriel, we made a promise to Stormhaven to take care of the Black Dragon that devastated their town a while ago.
A year ago.
So, one way or another, we're going after Donovan. And for my personal self, knowing that the Eldritch Knights are there, that Hunter is there, I've got a score to settle.
As far as me, my little sister just found out that she got royally screwed out of a good life. And I am not about to let that go. I am going to bring justice to Lord Storm. I'm going to bring justice to Donovan for what he's done and anyone else who stands in the way. I am going to bring justice, and I'm going to stand by my sister's side and the rest of you if you'll come. But if you don't, I will never hold it against you.
You guys have become family I've never had, so you guys go, I'll go. Even if it's into an incredibly stupid situation, which I suspect this is.
Just like most of our others.
That's fair.
No, you're all incredibly stupid sometimes.
Mara's like has a fist like on her warhammer. She obviously has not been paying attention. She's very obviously broken right now. She's like, "Can we stop wasting time now? Are you guys done talking? Because we need to go. Like, we need to go forever ago."
At this point, as a symbolic move, Raja unsheaths his flame tongue, places it on the table in front of him, and
At least put it on the
Forever.
blacksmith table. That one has scorch marks
Yeah.
on it, please.
no, it's not ignited. It's just on the table.
I thought you were trying to
And
burn
just-
Mama's
and just
table.
say, fire and light forever. If anybody wants to leave, now's the time. I won't hold it against them.
We live or die as one.
We are fire and light. Sword down on table, on top of Raja's.
Dagger.
I'll cast light on my staff. That down.
I want Mara to like slam her warhammer down.
That's why I want it to be the blacksmith table. Some
We're
of
not
the war
outside.
pick.
Mara,
We're not
are you
outside
gonna
on the-
break
on
your
the
are you
blacksmith
gonna
area.
break your
We're in the
dad and
dining room.
stepmom's
Yeah.
table?
We're singeing a hole in Celinda's table.
Mara starts to do it, and Terrence is like, whoa, dining room table!
Put it on the floor.
Just is the floor stone at least?
Yeah.
Okay, so just slam it down.
Nice. Alright, so
Let's go, guys.
the group
Head 'em up.
departs.
Finally.
Kind of in a bit of a
Fire and
haste.
light.
Terrence does take the time to hug his mother and father.
Okay.
Devlin will leave 5 gold to repair the damage that now crater in their floor.
Nice.
I'll cast mending on the floor. I'll do one better.
He'll still leave the 5 gold. They did put up with us. They did feed us.
Thank you for the hospitality.
Do some
And-
I'll leave 5 gold as well.
prestidigitation to clean up after us.
And because this is Terrence's mother and father, he's going to leave 250 gold.
Wow.
I think Mara would like give her father a like silent like very stiff hug and just walk away. Like very stiff hug and just walk away. Why did I just hear myself?
I don't know. I heard it too.
Sorry, I pulled up the Twitch just to look at it. I just randomly clicked the link. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good timing.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what? I'm
funny.
leaving 10 gold just because I can.
Alright, so, you guys make it out of Dragonstar, and it's not a super long trip to get to
Stormhaven.
Stormhaven. Yeah, it's actually not far at all. Give me a second, I'm gonna throw the map up. But first I have to go re-download it.
Oops.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this map in a year.
A year.
Yeah, really though. It's been some time.
Yeah. Hey, maybe our old mansion's still here.
Hey,
I
wouldn't that be
did.
something?
What? You have a mansion?
Come again?
Well, he did say it was ours.
You have real estate?
I assume it's still ours.
He never
Yeah,
he never
people
said that it wasn't. So
But you're saying it was Mr. Storm that gave it to you?
yeah. He also
I
gave me a
wouldn't.
cursed sword, but I don't hold that against him. Well, I do now,
True.
but I didn't then.
You know what, Mara? I think I'm more on your side. This guy is sounding more and more like an evil man.
Thank you. Jeez, the one time I like you.
He also gave me my shield, which I still have.
Yes, he did.
I will take the compliment, Lady Fink. Because those are
Good.
very few and far between.
Now Terrence has stated that this guy needs to come to justice, and he's with you on it. Just so you know.
You guys trusted him for God knows how. Sorry, Jehovah knows how long.
I
Never trusted that.
I was not part of this original bargain, so don't you dare go through it and be in this law.
I was
And I
not
wasn't
throwing
making
it in.
waves.
I
was
was
brand new.
pointing that directly at Terrence and Braja.
Terrence looks down at Mara and says, "And when have you known me not to trust people?"
To be fair,
That's fair.
Raja trusted because they shared a military bond.
I'm just saying, I was right.
Nobody said you were
And
wrong.
you weren't.
You were right, Mara.
And now the big brother, little brother thing's coming out because Terrence is like, I'm not going to apologize, and I'm not going to say you're right. I'm just going to tell you you're wrong. You're not wrong.
Better than nothing.
Raja's just going to remain silent because they got this. I don't even know if it's a rivalry or whatever, but they've got something going on.
They're trying to figure out how to be brother and sister, and it's not so sure it's always working.
I was just gonna pull Mara just kind of the other side of the road as we're walking, be like, "All right, we need to talk."
She's still very broken looking, but she will say, "Okay."
All right, you threw a pew at me.
What, you threw a pew?
To take Devlin by the ear and go, shut up. They're trying to talk.
I haven't seen Devlin. Little privacy here, please.
Raja's ears kind of perk up. What?
Okay, Mr. 20 perception. We're going to take a walk on the other side of the road.
Did we establish that I was conscious for that? Like that was something that I actively realized that I did?
What, that you threw a pew at them?
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
I mean, you remember throwing it. You don't recognize it as you throwing it at them. You recognize it as you just threw it in rage, and they happened to be in the direction that.
Okay.
it flew
Okay.
in.
That's why I thought. I guess she'll keep walking. She'll be like, I didn't see you two. I just threw it. I'm glad it didn't hit you. I'm very sorry that it looked as bad as it did. I don't know what else to say. And she's still very not all there.
All right, if we're gonna do this, you need to communicate with me. We need to be able to talk. You can't be storming off and giving into your anger and throwing huge boulder-like pews at little gnomes. Hey,
I've gone so long without a rage. I'm sorry that it ended this way. It ended that way. I tried so hard and it didn't work, and I feel awful. I do. I feel awful. I
I know you've had so much happen. We've been talking, and you've shared with me that lots have been going on with your parents, with the dying, with Helga, everything. I understand that.
They loved me. They loved me, Elvis. They loved me.
Just pat her arm. No, Mara. In a lot of ways, that's good, right? It changes the way you think of them. It changes kind of a lot of the things that you've built upon that.
I think she would also be very just moving her hands around. She's very like nervous, and she's like, yeah.
Yep, makes
I
sense.
want to help you
Anyway.
through this. I want to be with you through this. Just let me in. Let me help you.
Okay. How do?
I rolled a 19 to be listening, but I'm not.
I was just wondering how close we are.
We're not too far. We're across the street. We're just like
Yeah.
on the other side of the path. Or
I'm
Yeah.
thinking that we're all probably listening, but not listening.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
the sitcom shows where everybody's like, right, but you look at them and you all look at somewhere else.
Yeah,
No idea what
it's
you're talking
definitely it's not super hard to hear kind of the conversation that's going on, because I can't imagine that Mara would be attempting to keep her voice down whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
Right. Probably within a couple hours of leaving Dragonstar, you make your way into the region of the Echo Shores. By this point, you're probably 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you're probably a good 10 to
Oh, I think
15,
it's the Army.
probably 10 to 15 miles out from the city. As you kind of crest over some of the more hilly regions, and you're able to actually start seeing the region for the first time since you left, it has drastically changed.
Mm.
It looks like, and I'm sorry, I have to use it. It looks like Simba returning to Pride Rock at the end of The Lion King.
Wow.
No.
That bad.
I love that I can use that, and you guys get it. See, that's why I love you.
Well, we were either alive or quite alive during the 90s.
That's,
Going
yeah,
there.
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Like,
it
the context of
is...
what like before, so it just looks like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nothing like you guys left it. At least within probably a good 5 to 10 mile vicinity of Storm Hallow. Not Storm Haven, Storm Hallow.
Sorry.
See, that's why I should have pulled this damn map up and saw what I actually named it the first time.
Just change the name. It's fine.
Wait. So are we
Yeah.
going to?
You're going to
Is
Storm
Hallow and
Hallow.
Storm Haven? Are they the same
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've been
I've
calling
been
it Storm
referring to it as
Haven
Storm
for
Haven,
a
but it's
while.
Storm Hollow.
Okay, good to know.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, you start. So what used to be a very ornate city, even from the distance that you're at now, you can tell, even just by the standard color palette of the city, like it is completely changed. Where used to stand like a gorgeous brick, light stone wall is now almost like a burned black coloring. All the towers are now almost that charred black color as well. There are what, Raja?
Is there still a giant crater in the side of the mountain from a distance?
Yes.
From where we first battled Donovan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That has not changed. What seems like a perpetual storm, haha, see what I did there, can be seen
Eh.
kind of silhouetting the back from where you're looking at the city, just beyond everything that you can see. Dark clouds, a lot of lightning. You start kind of feeling the vibrations of kind of low thunder, and yeah, it is just is definitely not the way you remember it.
Am I within a mile of the keep?
No. You guys are still probably, I'd say at this point, probably about 10 miles out.
Okay.
I've heard stories of this port. I don't think it's supposed to look like that.
It didn't look like
It
this
never
a year
looked like
ago.
that a year ago.
5 months ago.
However long it was.
This used to be all green and beautiful.
So at this point, is the group gonna try to get closer to the city to allow Muriel to do her?
We should probably get off the road.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there
There's-
vegetation around us that we can?
So there's not a
There's not.
there's not
Look at the
a
map.
forest
Okay.
in and around the main keep itself. It is surrounded by what used to be kind of farmland, and within that farmland, there now where nothing is growing, obviously based on the description, but there are there's like farmhouses, there's busted and broken wagons kind of scattered throughout.
Well, I'm going to suggest if we're going to start moving forward, we should be very cautious.
I
And
agree.
Try to
to
make- We could try to make camp at one of the farmhouses down the road.
That
Figure
would
out
be
our
our
next move.
that would be our best bet, and then maybe I don't know, Devlin, would you be able to safely scout ahead for us to see if we can make it without being seen?
I will endeavor to do my best. That's what I do.
Check for roving patrols, just see if we can find a pattern and avoid them.
Well, I
In the
think I'm going to
meantime,
blend into this dark environment much better.
we'll camp off road so that we aren't found.
Well, we
I
were
find-
thinking one of the farmhouses maybe. They look like they're abandoned at this point, so it would be an
Somewhere
easy
we're
way
not
to
found.
hide.
No campfire needed.
No.
I'll check in
When I
every
say
hour.
camp, I don't mean with a fire. We're not
Yeah.
making that mistake again.
Yeah. And you could even look and make sure that there's nobody in the farmhouse before we get there.
Yes, I can.
It's just
Hmm.
All right, Devlin, go ahead and make a stealth check.
ooh, 29.
Mm.
So while the rest of you kind of hang back, Devlin goes ahead and over the next few hours scouts to within about a mile of the city. Devlin, you end up finding a fairly large farmhouse. Just for the sake of my sanity, we'll just use this one here on the map. I am going to go ahead and move the group here. So Devlin, as you're making your way kind of off the main roads, kind of through the fields and things, it seems to be kind of a lot worse than maybe even what you expected. You kind of watch as marauding groups of orcs. You pass by 2 or 3 patrols of orcs. As you get closer to the city proper, you start recognizing. Actually, make me a perception check, and let's see the level of detail that you get.
I'm going to use my looks because that wasn't at 1.
You didn't even notice it
Is
either.
soft 20.
Okay. Yeah, so thank goodness you used that, because at first you weren't even sure that the city actually exists. So as you kind of got closer to the city proper, and you're able to actually start seeing what appears to be military figures, none of them are wearing the colors that you recognize from the keep. The
Oh.
the uniforms themselves are now almost like blackened armor, and their tabards are black. You didn't quite get high enough to actually see what the sigil was on it, but I'll just say that it's an even darker black sigil that sits in the center of the tabard itself.
If he can, he's going to. Has he used? Is this all with just looking? Because I do have the telescope.
Oh, forgot the telescope. Do another perception check with advantage.
It's right. That sigil. 26.
Okay. So
Remind me of the kingdom colors.
so breaking out the telescope and being able to zoom in, you kind of catch a couple of the guards that are either patrolling kind of the perimeter of the now blackened walls, and even looking at the ones that are kind of standing guard at the gate. Upon closer inspection, the tunics, not the tunics, the tabards. Thank you. They're a very. It's going to sound really weird, but it's almost like a light black, not quite gray, darker than gray, and the sigil now is of a large black dragon. In terms of kind of the movements of the guards, there are a ton of guards around this city. Whether it be on the ramparts, there are several groups of probably 10 to 15 in a patrol that kind of march around the perimeter, almost to where the water would be, and then kind of go back. But there's multiple patrols that kind of overlay their marching patterns.
So they're in blind spots.
Yeah, not many. I would say with some really good rolls, possibly. But it would be very difficult.
He will retract his telescope, put it away, and he will make his way back to the group.
Okay. All right. So just to kind of save the time, he makes it to you guys, kind of informs you of what he's seen, and he goes ahead and leads you guys, not use guys, to the farmhouse. You're now within roughly about a mile, and you kind of make your way into the farmhouse. It's abandoned. Looks like at one time, whoever was there was forcefully removed. Windows are busted out. There are definitely marks on the wall that appear to be from a sword or an axe. Definitely some type of blade. No blood or anything like that is able to be found. So,
We're all silent from
what
the
you
shock.
doing?
Yeah, I was just saying. We're pretty shocked with everything we've seen so far.
So
What?
what time of day is it at this point?
By this point, you're pushing mid to late afternoon. You've probably got another hour to 2 hours of sunlight.
Okay.
I'm
So-
going to take a wild
And-
guess that dragon heraldry is not very common, if at all.
What's not common?
Heraldry.
Dragon heraldry.
Especially black dragon heraldry.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if
think
they were like
were-
forced to follow Donovan.
Could be a ruse.
Would be the birthday gift to a certain black dragon saying, "Welcome to the world. Here's your own personal army I've assembled for you."
Mm-hmm.
Were the army particularly distinctive in any way other than their heraldry?
Not in
No discerning.
I didn't know if
Lots
that was
of
a question
blacks.
for me or him.
I'm trying to get him to say in character they were half orcs. Or orcs.
Oh
No,
no,
they weren't orcs.
The orcs that were the orcs that he saw just looked like kind of marauding bands
Marauders.
of orcs, just kind of scattered throughout the farmland itself. So they weren't
Okay.
actually the soldiers at the
Gotcha.
city.
So the real soldiers are typical mix of
Yeah.
different, but then we've got scavengers running around. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for
You
clarifying.
basically have the hyenas from the
Mhm, that was
The
my
Lion
exact
King.
thought.
Well, we tried.
Dear Wildfire, I do seem to recall the place to get off the boat was one town back that way. This ship is not stopping.
If there's no way in, I mean, what can we do?
There's always a way in. And I'll bet you Devlin knows it.
It was going to be extraordinarily tricky. Even with my skills, I could maybe get in. Us
Could you
lot,
get
no,
out?
not all of us.
Oh, come on. I can be
And-
stealthy.
We have seen you go in and get stuck. I'm not willing to let you do it again.
It's
Has
too
to be a
risky.
way.
I don't even know if it's civilians in there. For all I know, it's just a giant fortress.
Well, what do we do? Do we lure somebody out and charm them? Do we dig a tunnel under there using spoons? What do we do?
Well,
And you sneak me within a mile.
Well, you're within a mile of the city now.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're within a mile.
You're welcome.
Thank
I know.
Devlin
of a
just
way
goes,
to-
ta-da.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I know of a way to get us all into the city, but it's not going to be stealthy, and it's extremely risky.
Let's save that for plan B.
What haven't
We'll
we
save
done
that
that was
for
extraordinary?
Look,
What?
I've already been captured by one army in this lifetime. I'm not willing to do it again.
Yep, ditto. I'm not blowing myself up again. Sorry.
Oh, the biggest downside about my plan is if it fails, we're all dead.
That's a pretty big downside.
I'd say that puts it further down the alphabet there, Roger.
Yeah.
I hate,
The
I hate
plan
to tell you
Z.
this, guys, but anything that we do from this point on, if we fail, we're dead. So we have the same chance of everything.
Let's
If
try
I-
it. Let's just try to let me spy for a little while before we go blowing our cover.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay?
I'm good with that.
I will sit cross-legged on the floor. And for once, my eyes don't roll to black when I do this magic. And I will cast clairvoyance.
Okay.
And an invisible sensor appears within a mile from me, in a place that is familiar to me, or a obvious location that is unfamiliar to me, such as on the other side of a door. I'm going to pick. Do you remember that square where we were confronted by the townspeople of Storm Hallow after returning from the dragon fight, or would have been fight?
Yep, I still have that map.
Yeah, I'm gonna start there.
Okay.
Initially, the sensor is only for seeing. I can't hear,
Okay.
but I think I can flip it back and forth.
Okay.
So I'll start in the square. What do I see?
All right. As your vision becomes clear, you look around, and the inside of the city is not much better than what the outside looks like. Where you might have expected construction to happen and the city to be rebuilt after Donovan destroyed it the first time, that really hasn't happened. Most of the burned out buildings remain burned out, and it looks like a lot of the other buildings have burned out. Several of the trees that dot the city, especially around that square that you picked. You see the hanging bodies of what appear to be civilians from the city.
I'm sitting cross-legged, but you're gonna see me just.
You watch as probably no less than 30 to 40 troops just kind of march through the square. Not necessarily looking for anything, just more kind of as kind of like a show of force. It definitely doesn't look like they're on any type of patrol. It just looks like they're marching. Alright, so that's gonna be... let me see if I still have...
As Muriel's doing... Muriel, can you hear us while you're doing this?
I don't see anything to spell that says I can't.
I was going to say, if you can hear us, I'm going to ask you, let me know if you see any of the Eldritch Knights, especially Hunter.
Of course.
Alright, so I'm gonna transition over so folks don't have to watch me do it.
They've got civilians dead, hanging from the walls.
So
I don't think there's anybody left in that city to save.
So at this point, you can definitely see Terrence's entire demeanor is going to change because that is an absolute goes against everything he'd stand for.
Mara's going to look at Terrence and be like, "Did we fail? Did we fail them?
Not yet.
Are we bad people?"
What chance did we have against Donovan when we first met him? What chance did we have against this army? The only way we are getting through this with our lives is through guile, stealth, and underhanded trickery, the likes of which would make Jehovah blush.
So are you able to move your...
Still have our
kind of
honor.
like the clairvoyant spot that you're looking...
Yeah, it's a movable sensor.
Got
I can
it,
move
okay.
it around.
So there's really not much else going on there.
I'm sorry, the sensor remains in place, but I can rotate it around, at least in place.
Got it, okay.
That would be too nice.
Right, yeah. So there's really nothing else in that section of the city that you're looking at.
I'll switch to listening just for the running out the duration of the 10 minutes.
Okay.
And see what I can pick up.
So you hear kind of a myriad of kind of the stomping sound of the soldiers marching. Occasionally you hear what possibly sounds like almost like a blacksmith hammer hitting. And then the occasional rumble of thunder.
Okay. I'll cast it again in the keep.
Okay.
In what I assume to be the, I guess throne room would be the best definition.
So this one's a bit more interesting. As you cast and your vision becomes clear, the way that you would envision is not what you are seeing. Where the keep used to be this gorgeous regal house with gorgeous tapestries that hung on the walls with braziers lit here and there. The roof is now completely, it looks like it's been ripped off.
So a dragon can land in there.
Yes.
Donovan literally
Because-
tore the roof off the castle so he could come and go. He's not hiding anymore.
He did indeed. As you kind of peer around the room and you flip back, I'll say that your vision kind of started facing more towards the door. And as you kind of rotated it towards the back of, kind of where the back of the room would be, kind of where you would picture a throne sitting.
Yeah.
There are several figures there that come into focus.
Okay,
You-
before you keep going, I just reread the spell. I can only pick one or the other.
Got it. Okay.
But I'll cast it again in the same location so I can hear what they're saying.
Got it. Okay.
Who is it first off, and then I'll recast.
So you recognize Donovan.
Donovan's here.
You recognize Lord Storm.
So is Lord Storm.
Oh.
You recognize Darius Hunter.
Hunter is here.
There is another gentleman that is with them that you do not recognize. This guy... I'm not even going to make you roll perception on it. This guy, just looking at him, even through the clairvoyant eye, he scares you. There is something about this guy. He's a very tanned gentleman with almost like dreadlock type braids in his hair that run back. His eyes even give off almost like a yellowish glow. He is in what appears to be like full plate armor, and you see the black dragon heraldry in the center of his armor. While you can't hear what's going on, it looks like...
I'll recast long enough I'll recast again and do it so I can hear.
Okay.
Once I'll have described it out loud, I will have heard Devlin say, "Oh no." Come out of the spell, hold that thought, recast so I can listen.
Okay. So as you recast in the same spot, you hear
I'll be closer.
Donovan, Hunter, and Storm all almost like you caught the very end of a conversation saying, "Yes, Lord Galtharax."
Gatharax.
What?
Galthhorax for my
Gal-
note takers.
Gal Thorax.
Galtharax.
Got it.
As you continue to listen, there's another voice that you recognize.
Oh no.
As I can't say you see,
Ew.
but the very familiar voice of Seralda.
Oh.
That bitch.
Oh shit.
Sorry. Oi.
I told you we should have fought her on that mountain.
We would have died.
We're gonna die anyway, it sounds like. At least we only had one dragon
What's
to
she
contend
saying?
with.
What is she saying?
Yeah, continue.
So now I'm having to picture this in my head since you're not watching it. Stupid spell. Why can't you let them see and hear?
That's if you want it to be
That's scrying. That's a different spell.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you can hear the faint footsteps of her walking through the door.
I hear her
And-
voice, obviously.
Yes.
So Ralda's here.
Yes, you've said that.
And so you hear...
I'm getting character now.
Gentlemen, while you go about playing army and soldiers, I'm now in possession of what you need.
What a hoe.
Yeah, basically. You just see me just do. Oh.
There's a little back and forth between her and Galtharax.
Just so you know, a creature with true sight could see the sensor.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
Ancients, I believe. I'll look that up.
Do they got to make some sort of check to see
No.
it? Can they just sense it?
They can just see it. Do dragons have? Does an ancient green dragon have true sight?
I'll look that up really quick.
Fairly positive that she does.
Okay, but to be
Yeah.
fair, she said if she sees you again. So as long as it's not you, it's fine, right?
All she sees is
Obviously.
all she sees is a fist-sized glowing ball. That's all she sees. I am not personally
The
there.
question is, what game is she playing, and is she gonna like call it out first moment she notices, or is she playing a different game? We don't know.
I'm just listening. Hear it play out.
So,
No. Ancient green dragon has blind sight, dark vision, and a very high passive. Does not have true sight.
there you go.
So they don't know.
Okay.
I looked. An ancient green dragon does not.
Good.
Well, while you're at
Good
it,
to know.
while you're at it, look up Ancient Black Dragon.
Will do.
I mean, since you're there, save me the.
There.
Level 12. How many ancients could we take on?
Nope. Blind sight and dark
There
vision.
you go. So as they argue back and forth, obviously you're not watching this go on.
Yeah, but I'm listening
You're listening.
intently.
So Saralda tells them, "You fools, I have two. I know that you have but one. You hear this deep, evil laugh.
Can I tell in the direction of the room where?
You
Is it from an individual I have seen?
It was from kind of within a close proximity of where Saralda was at, so just based off of that, you would have a decent idea that it was probably Galtharax.
Okay.
And he just tells her, "You had two, but now we have four." And you hear just I'm trying to figure out how to describe the sound, since it'd be so much easier if you were freaking watching.
A roar?
No.
Probably the sound of something being torn apart.
You hear
A 2-on-1 dragon fight.
you hear metal piercing through armor, flesh,
Drop audio and put video back up.
and
It's a 10-minute cast.
Do you have to cast it for 10 minutes?
you hear
It is a casting time of 10 minutes.
you hear Saralda kind of let out not even a roar, as it happened so quickly that it's just almost like a faint and then you hear the sound of a body collapsing to the floor.
Shoot.
I know what a trebuchet sounds like. I'm assuming they shot her with something bigger than she could take.
She was in her
Human
human form. They were all in their human form.
I just double checked. It simply says as an action you can switch. It doesn't say
Oh, okay, thank
switch
you.
once.
Thank you. When you cast a spell, you choose. Okay, I can switch. I'm sorry. So I'll switch back from when I hear her or when I hear them say that, like we now have 4. I'm switching back to vision,
Okay.
and I watch her
Yeah.
fall.
So you watch as Galtharax rips out just this nasty black metal sword from like what started in the shoulder and ended at her heart, kind of removing her like left-ish arm area completely. As he removes the blade and she collapses to the ground, momentarily letting out a sigh before you watch as her body coalesces back into a dead green dragon.
They killed her. They killed Seralda.
What?
How many eggs did she have again? Sorry, out of character.
Well, she was 1. Now she had 2.
So
That
she
makes
had 3 total?
Yeah,
Well, her plus the 2 would be 3 total.
they've got all the eggs they need.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna keep watching.
As you continue to watch, they're in marches, kind of like 2 rows of soldiers that just kind of station themselves around Seralda's body, all in the black armor that
Do they look
Devlin.
especially tough, like an elite squad?
Not necessarily. No, nothing unique about them. You watch as Galtharax kind of walks over to the bag that Seralda had with her as he pulls out the red and blue egg and walks them over and sits them in front of Donovan.
Are you telling us this while it's happening?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
narrating
her.
with it.
I'm like, yes, I'm telling you. Are you not
Yeah.
listening?
I'm saying it in Brandon's voice, but I'm
Right.
narrating.
Terrence is like, well, how stupid would you be to travel with the eggs?
You hear a grinding as Devlin's just turns and just looks at you.
At this point, Muriel will look over at you with the spell completely blinding her, and just her eyes will just flicker black.
So you got Terrence, Muriel, and Devlin. Hmm?
And
Yeah,
Terrence is
basically.
like, you know.
I'm in the back corner just shaking my head.
So as you continue to watch, there's a few words muttered between Galtharax and Donovan.
I'll switch back to listen.
He just tells him that he's now able to continue his work, that the master must be summoned. And
They're going to win.
folks, at the 2 hour and 5 minute mark, that is where we are going to end tonight's session. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Again, just thank you for this group. You guys look fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks for thanks for making, really just making these characters come to life. I honestly, you guys could have just thrown on pajamas. You do such a good job, whether you realize it or not. You do such a good job of bringing these characters to life. It makes this fun.
You gave us a playground.
Yes,
And
we've
so
been
we
having
decided
so
to
much
play.
fun.
It's been a fun one for sure.
We keep breaking your stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I don't think we're
it's
breaking this
certainly
one.
certainly a heck of
Got this.
it's certainly a heck of a cliffhanger to leave on. But it's
Like Terrence is at the top of the big metal slide coming down that hot slide in the summer.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be in hot water next
Yeah.
episode.
but it does certainly make me
Devlin has 2 cards to play.
enjoy it, and obviously can't wait to come back in in August and get this kicked back off again. Again, hey, go to YouTube, check out the videos. You now have a month to catch up on all 36 episodes.
You gotta
Go to
plug
the
to
the
it.
Facebook
Holy.
group.
It's I believe it's under the Holy Rollers D&D group. Search around, you should be able to find it.
There is a very similar looking channel called the High Rollers.
Yes,
That is not
that's
us.
not us. No.
Nope.
Yeah, don't go for the one that has a few thousand followers. Find the one that has 63. That would be us.
We're the 63.
We're in the 63. No.
But
We are
don't
new,
commit
but
like
we are
this.
cool.
That's
Get
right.
us up to 69, y'all.
69. Sorry.
Nice.
So
Wow,
yeah,
you work fast, Rachel.
Be looking out for the videos from the one shot. The last one that we did was it was fantastic. It's in there
Yeah.
if you want to watch it.
It's a short shot.
So,
Yeah.
yep.
And
So
don't
until
forget
next
to
time.
go to the Facebook group.
Yes,
the Facebook
yes.
group has
There's
a lot of it.
also the
The
Facebook
stuff that
group.
we've done off.
Rachel
off
is our
stuff.
meme queen, and
Yeah.
she creates memes themed around each episode.
Yeah.
And it is
Jesse's
amazing.
become the meme king. So.
Yes. All
Jesse's
hail.
also meme queen.
Yeah.
Rachel is
I'm
king.
tired.
Jesse is king. All hail the royal couple.
That's right.
It's interesting. Albus and Mara are also memes king and queen in the real world.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So again, thanks for joining us. We had an absolute blast tonight. I will see you guys back in August. Till then, God bless, and they will see you next week.
Before we leave, I want to do one thing. I want to do a shout out to the game store in Centerville, Maryland.
Yeah.
It's Central Gaming in Centerville, Maryland. I told them about us, so I'm not sure if they're going to watch or if anybody can get them to watch, but I just wanted to do a shout out. If you're in Maryland, if you're on the eastern shore of Maryland, Central Gaming.
There you
Go
go.
check them out.
That's great.
Perfect.
Great way to close.
Join us next
everybody.
week
Yeah.
as we, the Holy Rollers, adrift afar.
Ooh. Love it.
Woohoo.
Night, guys.
I'm excited.
Good night.